Yeah. Apparently I'm not live. There we go. We are live. We are indeed live. So let me just send this over. And yeah, let's get into this one. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to JSI Racing League. I am your host, Seizoen. I'll be taking you through the action here today for the 8th round of the season for the Italian Grand Prix at Monza. The Temple Speed playing host this for the 8th round of the 8th season. And with a historic track and the home of the world famous Scuderia. But getting the track map up. Shortest race on the calendar. 27 laps will make up today's Grand Prix. A short qualifying session would normally be a full qualifying session. Unfortunately, I don't think we have enough drivers to make it a full. So a bit good in there, but going into the track layout, apparently only 8 corners make up the track. Yeah, 8 corners. No, 11 corners will make up the track here today. It's just they're not putting many on the Scary and all that. Let me have a look. Okay, I see what they've done. They've put the they've put the chicanes as like 1 and all that. Oh, that's mint. So I'm gonna have to. I've got the idea of corner names anyway, so we're good there. But obviously, the Temple of Speed lowest wings on the of the season as well here today, as we're going to be flat out through most of the track here in Italy. But a quick lap of the track, go through the start, obviously the start finish straight, DRS wide open, foot to the floor, down into the heavy braking zone of turn 1, into the chicane, 1, 2, into the Curva Grande of 3. Want to help out beautifully before you go into the second chicane, aka turn 4, turn 5, before you head into the 2 Lesmos, 6 and 7, into your second of 2 DRS zones. Before the run into Ascari, one of the faster chicanes in Formula 1. After that, another straight up to Parabolica. That's one very quick lap here in Monza. Lap times averaging about 1 minute 27 seconds. Realistically, obviously the weather as well can play a big factor here, and see drivers take a higher wing just to find a better grip. But looking into the season for season 8 of JSI, going into the standings, I believe that's the standings. It's gonna be fun to find, isn't it? Don't ask him. Needed to wink in it. But your standings for season 8, round 7. So it's still the Red Bull out on top. It's VFR Troy, the Red Bull, out on top on 128 points, followed by his teammate Morgan Cassenby on 94. Ivo is in 3rd on 87, with Renz for the Scuderia in 4th on 81. Dan in 5th on 80. David on 71 in 6th. The JSI in 7th for the Ferrari team on 63. Micah for the Mercedes team on 40. And that is your top 8. Going in the constructor standings, Red Bull are leading the way on 222 points. Ferrari are on 208. Aston Martin are on 140. Mercedes AMG on 102. Then it's a big steep drop off to Haas on 50, followed by 6th place the Red Bull Powertrain Alpines here in 6th, followed by the battle of the back market teams, you could say here. McLaren in 7th, it's Williams in 8th, AlphaTauri in 9th, and Alfa Romeo Sauber, the only team not to score this season. But we are getting all drivers into the lobby now. So I'm just enjoying this Pepsi. But I'm just trying to find previous seasons if I can. But your race winner last week was Troy. Renz in 2nd, Davidenko for the Alpine team in 3rd, it looks like. But looking through your... trying to find it here. I'm very lost if you can't tell. Your lineup today is the Red Bulls, Troy and Morgan Cassenby. Scuderia Ferrari has Rent and Di Jesse. Mercedes has Goldmans and Male Appies. Aston Martin has Emil and Core. Davidenko and Rebel are your Alpine team. Haas is Dan and Ivo. Williams is Shane and Geordie. AlphaTauri is Lance and James. Damien and Luca are at Alfa Romeo. Rapagum and Hayes are at McLaren. But looking at the lineup for today, no Renz this week as he goes as Luke. It looks like Lucas is joining us at Ferrari. Luca goes up to Haas, and it looks like a lot of Hayes has gone to Mercedes, and bit of a guessing game here. But we currently only have 7 drivers there, and other drivers will be making their way in very, very shortly. Whew. As people are readying up, so it won't be too long. It shouldn't be too much longer to the racing action. But 18 minutes will determine your group for this 27 lap race. Hopefully the rain stays away. Again, it might be a good equaliser for the grid, especially if this is the grid and we've only got the one Red Bull. Don't want them to run away, do we? But here we go, we got a few more joining up. But the racing action should kick off very soon. As I think people forgot. Maybe. Who knows? We have 8. Well, hey! We have 8. It won't be too long now, hopefully. You like to see... Got Hamilton in the chat saying, Hola. Guten Tag. Guten Tag. Welcome into the stream. Don't do that. I need my drink in it. Been at work all day. I've been at work all day, hungover. So that's fun. No, it's Golden Vond. Golden Vond. You can tell I am like extremely British at times because my pronunciation of anything is just shocking. So yeah, get used to that. Like my so I've been appreciated Troy's insightfulness there. As we now have 9, we have the other Ferrari here today. We're totally not waiting for people. No. I don't even know what time we start normally. Can't you tell this is my first time commentating for JSI as well? It's yeah. Anyone you can tell. Chewing gum though, shouldn't be. Good Dante and Drew. I believe. Again, don't quote me on anything in Dutch. You know, you can write anything in Dutch. I'll probably say it, and yeah. Don't get any ideas. But welcome all into today's stream into the race coverage of JSI Monza again. So 11 corners, obviously making up the track layout for the shortest race of the calendar. And for anyone who's new to JSI, first of all, see that red thing at the bottom, the subscribe thing? Yeah, hit it. You know, hit it. That's what I'm saying. Hit it. And you see that bell too? Hit it. And that like button too? Hit it. Yeah, get your anchor out. Hit it out. Hit everything. We're just waiting on a few more people, I think. Currently 9 in the lobby. I don't know when we start, but yeah, mint. As Morgan has joined, so we do have a battle at the front. We have both the Red Bulls. So, say. Oh, back down to 9, he's gone. I mean, there's a good chance for like Haas, Alpine, Ferrari to score points. I mean, because the only teams with 2 drivers at the moment. That is madness. Oh well. We will get underway very shortly, though. But we shouldn't be too much longer now before we start the race coverage. I mean, I don't really know what to say at the moment, you know? But Morgan's back in, so we've got both the Red Bulls here. I'll get the lineup for you, as for some reason my wheel is on. So, I'll calibrate it and then leave it, because I was doing some laps just to learn the track. For you guys, you can't say I don't do any work, but I do a lot in it, like. Whew. But we shouldn't be too much longer now. Till qualifying gets underway. Don't forget, an 18-minute qualifying followed by 27 laps of the Italian Grand Prix here at Monza. Your championship leader is Troy. Your last week's race winner is Troy. If you want to know, your reigning champion is Troy. As we now have got 11 drivers, so it means someone's not going to be scoring points as Lance has made his way in the AlphaTauri seat of Suki Yanoda. But we shouldn't be too much longer now. Again, if you do want to remind him, quick lap as well, so DRS wide open after the start finish straight, foot to the floor down into turn 1, heavy braking zone into turn 1-2 of the first 2 chicanes, into the Curva Grande of turn 3, into the second chicane 4-5, into the 2 left modes of 6 and 7. DRS detection zone 1 is on the entrance of 7 into the DRS straight on the run to a Scally. As we'll go through the final straight into the Parabolica. DRS detection zone 2 for your main straight is on the exit. No, it's on the entrance of Parabolica these days. But 11 drivers, I think we are going to get underway very shortly. I think everyone is already up. So we do have 11 drivers here today. They won't be, but I'm sure we'll still get an enthralling race and qualifying session here with the 11 drivers. It's all of, sometimes it's not just about the quantity, it is the quality of drivers here today. So it's going to be interesting to see, could there be a bit major upset and seeing one of the midfield teams, one of the back, or even one of the back market teams score some really massive, really big points here. Don't forget your championship for the constructors is as followed. Red Bull leading the way on 222, Ferrari on 208, Aston Martin are on 140, but this is a big day for Mercedes to catch the Silverstone based team, as no Aston Martins are here, and Aston Martin are on Mercedes 102 in 4th, Haas in 5th, with Alpine in 6th, McLaren, Williams, AlphaTauri and Alfa Romeo are well, at the back there, 9, 7, 6, and 0 respectively. No from it, but this is a big day for them as well. For Williams and AlphaTauri, no McLaren's here, so this could be their big break to catch up on the Woking-based team. There are not many rounds left to go in the season, but we have got a dry qualifying session here today. We're going to get the map up for you guys. There we go. Actually, we'll get rid of that. There we go. But honestly, by my opinion, we should have the grid like this. This would be an interesting grid, to be honest with you, in realistic cars. But it's going to be the Mercedes out first. It's going to be Malay to lead us out of the pit lane. The W14 there. Sparkling as that Mercedes engine roars. Ready to get underway on that softest compounder tyre. Obviously, we're not really going to see many people go onto that medium compound. But it will be Malay to get us underway here. The number 69 on the car there. Looking to gain as many points on Aston Martin. A little bit of pressure for the driver from Brackley, the Belgian man. Looking to possibly take. I think this, if looking at previous seasons, I'll have a quick look. Here's results. I think if this happens, this will be Mercedes. No, would it? No. If Malay was to win for the Mercedes team, it looks like, yeah, it would be the Mercedes outfits first win of the season. But we're going to drive on board with the Mercedes, who's pushing already. There we go. But here we go for the Mercedes driver. Pat, foot to the floor on his first run here as we go down into turn 1. Here we go. Foot to the floor. DRS is wide open here, as his engine maxing out there, 250 miles an hour before hitting into turn 1. Nails his apexes beautifully. Now on the exit, he can put the foot to the floor here in third gear on this year's game. Obviously, last year's game was so much more tedious. Have to be possibly in fifth gear at points. I noticed as you could get massive wheel spin into full, but 203 miles per hour down into the second chicane here. Again, hooks up beautifully. A little bit off the track there as we go on into the first Lesmo here. And again, this is hooked up beautifully for the Mercedes driver as we go. Missed the apex of the second Lesmo, but now the DRS is back wide open once more on the run into Ascari. As the low wings are definitely proven prevalent here, 213 miles an hour here. And on the wall straights, he's just hitting that 200 mile an hour mark, which is where you want to be here, Ramondo. You don't want to be in the 190s, because that's just a massive time loss here. But now the fuel light is on for the Mercedes driver as we go into the Parabolica here. What's it going to be for the Mercedes driver? We're going to quickly get everything back up. There we go. It's going to be a 119.4 for the Mercedes, as now the Ferrari of Luki here, the Scuderia in their home race. What's it going to be for the Scarlet Ferrari to the line? Second fastest for him, as I think, yeah, that's the Red Bulls starting out on their lap. As yeah, it's only the two drivers are a bit early there, but the Red Bulls have decided to go onto the medium compound tyre. So we'll ride on board with Troy, foot to the floor there, and definitely seems to have a little bit more straight line speed around the Mercedes. Don't forget, we are in realistic cars, so he's not just like forgot his wing or anything. As we've got Ren saying greetings from Mallorca. Well, hope the weather in Mallorca is good. Just like here in Monza. As Troy through the second chicane now into the Lesmos. And not as fully committed. Don't forget he is on that medium compounder tyre, so it's not going to be as grippy as the Red-walled softest compounder tyre that the Mercedes and the Ferrari have already used in this qualifying session. But Troy now through the second DRS zone. What's it going to be? It's a 52.9 at the moment as we go into Ascari. Hooked it beautifully, and it's foot to the floor for the Red Bull. We are E19 looking at one with here in Monza, and definitely is the one to watch here to spoil the Ferrari party in front of the Tifosi as we go through Parabolica here. Fifth gear is the gear of choice for Troy at the moment. As we go through the Parabolica, what's it going to be for the Red Bull? And it's fastest overall by 7 milliseconds, and he's going to go. We know he's going to go faster than that when he goes on to the Red Bull tyre. 53.6 there for the Alpine of Jose. As we go through the Parabolica, the French outfit now here in Italy. What can the Alpine do for fastest and slowest so far in the session? As I think, is there a bit of impeding there from with the Ferrari? Nope, it's just the Ferrari on the outlap and using the slipstream of the AlphaTauri, who goes fifth fastest. Following on from that is Chicky. The Alpine now to the line as fifth fastest for him, and he. So he slows down to cool, to relax his tyres off. Luca now to the line. Goes sixth fastest for the American outfit here. It's going to be Morgan on the medium compound tyre. I think, yeah, he's going faster than his teammate. What's it going to be? Third fastest, 2/10. And the Red Bulls look to be the team to beat at the moment as Amberbale is starting on a lap here. So he's D-Jesse. D-Jesse's just sorting out his tyres. So just having a look through. I think Luki is on a lap here. We'll have a look. Yeah, there's a massive wiggle out of the Lesmos here. Luki pushing the Scarlet Ferrari to try and be the only team to beat the Red Bulls here. Try and get back on the party here. 2/10 down here, but this is where the time is. Oh, big wiggle into Ascari. He's off. He's in the wall. Luki is into the wall there. And that is hot. That is good in there for this. In front of the Tifosi, Luki is out of qualifying and will start from a maximum of 4th on the grid here. So next across the line will be possibly Luca. No, he's not pushing at the moment. I believe it's Amberbale, the Haas. Now, foot to the floor, out of the Ascari, straight into 8th gear here. The Ferrari power unit, giving everything it's got for the Haas team at the moment. Well, technically could be a home Grand Prix, but for the engine supply this time. But the Haas going up to the line here. Teammate in 7th. What's it going to be for Amberbale? 6th fastest ahead of his teammate. Jesse now the other Scarlet Ferrari is pushing that car to the limits here for Ferrari and the home Grand Prix. Can they spoil the Red Bull party? Jesse to the line. Goes 4th fastest ahead of his teammate. And he's definitely seeming. We've got a secure front 3 at the moment as Chicky is improving by 2/10. So we'll drive on board with the Alpine as going through the Lesmos here. Easy to lose the car on the exit, but Chicky holds on there. Through the second Lesmo we go. The Alpine looking absolutely on fire at the moment in the hands of Chicky. His teammate up in 6th there, a second clear however. But we know Chicky can find the time here, and he is signed in the time, half a second up as we go for the Ascari chicane. We saw Luki here clash out by taking too much risk here, but Chicky able to hold the car, and off we go now into the Parabolica at the 11th turn. Chicky through the Parabolica. Now flat to the floor here. The Alpine, what can he do? Can he get past his teammate? Can he possibly break into that top 5? No, 7th fastest and 5/10 off there, but seemingly in a bit of no man's land at the moment here. Amberbale not on a lap. Jesse is not on a lap. So it's the Mercedes, it's Male, the man in P2 at the moment. And the Mercedes looks to be at one with it. Oh, beautifully beautifully kept in there, right on the limit, on the exit of Ascari. It's now foot to the floor for the Mercedes. What can the W14 do? As we go through Parabolica, and now it's foot to the floor. 100% throttle on that Mercedes power car. What's it going to be? Fastest overall was a 19.2 there, but don't rule out Mallet beating the Red Bulls here, as I think Lance will be the next one to start a lap at the moment. No one on a lap at all. Oh, is that the Mercedes? Is that the Haas? Might have just been letting the Alpine through. So we're in the clear for a moment as Troy is starting his lap. But we'll drive on board with the Alpha Tauri of Lance here in 10th at the moment, as but however slowest of the lot at the moment. Lance coming through the curve of Glom, there we go. And the Alpha Tauri, what can he do? As he's 4 temps up. I repeat, he is 4 temps up. This is the lap for the Alpine Alpha Tauri team. My apologies, been saying Alpine too much today. As Lance goes through the last mode here, the Alpha Tauri in their home Grand Prix as well. Yeah, his home Grand Prix for both. Oh no! Oh no, Lance is in the wall. Lance is in the wall at the second Lesmo. And that is a horrible crash. And that is the tyre ripped off from the Alpha Tauri there. Helmut Marko is going to be fuming. But we're right on board with the stronger of the two cars compared in performance. It's the RB19 here, the Red Bull. 4 tenths of an improvement at the moment. Troy is at 1 with the car here and looks to be your favourite to take pole position at the moment. But here comes the Red Bull. Down into the Parabolica we go. What's it going to be for Troy? The RB19 is hugging the ground there, flat to the floor. As we go to the line, what's it going to be? Fastest overall, 6 tenths on the Mercedes. And that is a lap to remember, as I think Holes is going to be new. He's coming into the pit lane. It's going to be the Williams driver, I believe. No, it's Luca. Luca isn't pushing. You know what, we'll drive on board with the Williams driver of Hooft. And the Williams not been up there this season as relative to the constructor standings being I believe it's 7th at the moment. No, 8th behind the McLaren team. But this is a good chance for the Williams team to outscore and jump that Papaya-based outfit here today. But the Williams looking quite racy at the moment here in qualifying and looks to be a strong car. Don't forget, the Williams has got some of the best straight line speed in the game. So he's going to be an absolute rocket ship there, as we can just see. 214 miles an hour, but it's a big lockup. He's off the track, and is he going to keep pushing? He's going to keep pushing to get this lap on the board there, but who has gone off? I think that's the Haas. Amber Bale has gone for a spin out of turn 2, so Luca is going to be next to cross the line here, but he's got Morgan behind him, the Red Bull in the dirty air of the Haas. And this is not going to be doing Morgan any favours at the moment. But Luca through Parabolica we go. What's it going to be for the Haas driver? Into the pit lane is what it is. Morgan now into the pit lane. JSI, the Ferrari at the home Grand Prix of the Scuderia. What can he do? He's already beaten his teammate. And but 1.1 off Troy on pole position at the moment. The Red Bull looking mighty in the hands of Troy. But JSI to the line, what's going to be? Second fastest. It's the front row for the Scarlet Ferraris. I think that's a Haas. Amber Bale's gone off again. And not been an ideal situation so far for Amber Bale. Hooft might be improving. No, he's not. He's saving a battery, and he's going to go into pit and get a fresh set of boots on. Get a fresh set of tyres on, in fact. But final runs now will be taking place. Get your Oh, we forgot to do predictions. Oh well. We'll do a few for the race in it. As it looks like, alright, Mallet is holding his brake to burn a lot of fuel at the moment, and obviously wanting to be on a low fuel amount for this lap of W14. It's looking quite quick at the moment. Obviously third fastest at the moment, so it looks to be third fastest around here. But still, I've won 3 teams in the top 3 positions at the moment. You love to see it. But we're going to ride on board with the Mercedes, who's going to be starting his lap very shortly, I believe. He'll try and burn as much fuel as he can up into the Parabolica. Oh, say now he's gone. As well, tyre temps will be critical for Mali to get the rears up to temperature, get the grip. But Mali will be the first one to start his final flying lap, the Belgian, in that W14. On the run into turn 1 we go, the Mercedes driver, heavy on the brakes there, rear locking, but it's working for him at the moment. As now we see that W14 power down into the Curva Grande we go. And hasn't got much of a toe here, but doesn't need it as such. As he's a 10th down on his time. Sorry, 800ths down on his time. But here we go into the last minute here. It's all or nothing here. He's just going to throw that car. Oh, he's invalidated his lap. And he's just ran a little bit wide. As I think he's just going to get some battery into that car now and go for another lap here. So I think everyone now on outlaps. So it will be Morgan to start us off here. As I think, yeah, don't forget Lukey and Lance out of qualifying. They'll be in the pit lane at the moment. But still, Morgan going to be the one to... he's letting the Haas through. So the Haas of Luca will not have a toe, but will be your lead runner here today is the Haas. Going through Parabolica. As we go now onto the straight for the final time for Luca here in qualifying. It's foot to the floor, it's pedal to the metal, down into turn 1, the Haas logo split in half twice there with the DRS wide open, the letterbox letting him through the air. As Luca now through turn 1, 2, beautifully done for the Haas driver at the moment. As we go for the Curva Grande. As I think some people might have got their calculations wrong slightly, as we've only got 15 seconds to get to the line here. It's going to be the Scarlet Ferrari of DJSI, the last one to start his lap time here. 5, 4, 3. DJSI started his lap with 3 seconds to go. The Alpine slowing down there. Jones goes up into 4th place. And that's a maximum of where he will be ahead of the Red Bull of Morgan at the moment, but we're focused now on the man in 9th position at the moment, Luca. Up through into Ascari we go, as he is improving by half a second. This is not enough to improve his position though, and if so, it's only going to be on his teammate here. The Haas team not looking too good here in Monza at the moment, but Luca on the run to Parabolica. Here we go into 6th gear, he goes. Could be ideal to go into 5th gear round the Parabolica curves. We've seen Troy do in the Red Bull. Luca to the line. What's it going to be? Stays 9th fastest. Morgan Casimir now to the line. What's it going to be? 2nd fastest. It's a current Red Bull lockout at the moment, but Mallet to the line. What's going to be? Stays 4th fastest. Troy has spun. Troy has spun at Parabolica. So it's going to be Amber Bale now. The Haas driver has invalidated his lap time. So now it's going to be Chicky to the line. The Alpine, what's going to be? 7th fastest, stays where he was. As I think, who's next to cross the line is going to be DJSI. As Hoof goes up to 10th fastest, DJSI stays 3rd fastest. And shows will not be improving on his lap time. It is a Red Bull front row lockout. It is Troy to Morgan. And it is Troy on pole for the Italian Grand Prix here today, and it is the RB19, the cream of the crop the top of the field, the award winner, topping out qualifying with Morgan Castleby in second, a whole, well, 1.5 tenths on the dot there to his teammate DJSI in third, Marley in fourth. Joe to the Alpine team in fifth, with Luki staying, well, into sixth there. Bit of damage limitation there on his first run, being quite strong. Chiki in seventh, Amber Bell in eighth. It's a Haas eighth, Haas ninth. It's Hoof in 10th with Lance at the back of the grid. Don't go anywhere. The race will be shortly coming. 27 laps of this Italian Grand Prix. The fifth formation lap is on. So, be interested to see the tyre strategy here today. As Romaron, who's that? I don't know. They've left. So hopefully they're not on the grid. Be a bit annoying if they are. She's joined again. Who is this Romaron? I've actually... Who knows? Who knows, eh? Might be the McLaren. Might be the McLaren driver. But it's going to be 5 red lights for the Italian Grand Prix in JSI. And we are underway here as, yep, the Mercedes has retired straight away there. So we have got yellow flags at the moment. But Troy stays into the lead. Has a brilliant start. The Red Bull of Morgan is getting hounded here as DJSI now makes his way past the past the Red Bull. Joe's as well defending away from the Ferrari. As Roof has had a brilliant start from 10th on the grid up into 8th there for the Williams driver at the moment. Not ideal for the Haas team at the moment, but it's still Troy out on top. DJSI in second, Morgan Castleby in third. And Marley is all over the back of the Red Bull at the moment. The Red Bull not looking too good at the moment in the race trim. Well, in the hands of Morgan at the moment. But Troy looking to break the DRS already of DJSI. As he already has, as his yellow flags, and that's the Ferrari. That's Luki gone for a spin. Then it's a race of 2 emotions so far for the Tifosi. Luki has gone for a spin there and needs to make his way back up into this race. Don't forget, everyone apart from P11 will be scoring points in this race. But we'll have a quick look at the moment on the tyre strategy. Here, as everyone has chose the medium compound tyre apart from 2 Amber Bale and Hoof, but here comes Morgan Castleby around on the inside of Parabolica. He's back past DJSI, but can DJSI fight back here? The Ferrari's in the toe at the moment. Luca has got past Hoof at the moment, back for P7, but here comes DJSI. He thinks better of sending it as there's contact between the two. Into turn 1, Luca as well making a move past with that soft compound tyre, not seeming to be the best choice at the moment for the Williams team, but they're looking to try and make that undercut well, whereas Amber Bell wants the overcut to work here in Monza, but DJSI still all over the back of the RB19 here. The Ferrari looking really racy. The SF23 looks to be one of the racier cars at the moment, but here he goes. Is he going to go in down the inside of Velesmo? No, he thinks better of it and lines up behind the Red Bull driver. But it's still Troy out on top, Morgan in second, DJSI in third at the moment, and Red Bulls look to be the cream of the crop at the moment. The Mercedes is looking to make the move past the Ferrari at the moment, spoil any hopes of a podium finish for the Scarlet Ferrari. As now still DJSI has got the toe on Morgan Castleby. Troy has ran away already, and Troy looks to be a favourite for this race win. At the moment, DJSI thinks better of it, but here comes There's some big rain clouds coming, as you can see, to the left hand side and the right hand side. We are in overcast conditions at the moment. Could we see the rain make an entrance here in Monza? Could we see the Italian rain break more Italian hearts? Or maybe even mend them at the moment and be the neutraliser that we need in this race, as Luki has made his way past Lance, and so has Amberbell as well, as it's for too wide here into turn 1. The Haas wanting these points. Oh, the Haas has gone! The Haas has gone and it's rear locking for Amberbell. It's a nightmare scenario into turn 1 here. It's Stewart defending here for Morgan at the moment, as he's basically being pushed here by JSI, but here comes Marley. Is he going to try it around the outside? No, JSI thinks to defend that one, and the Mercedes is looking all over the back of JSI at the moment and trying to make the move stick here today. But it's still Troy out on top. 2 seconds is the gap. Amberbell has made his way past Lance here for AlphaTauri, looking to be a little bit of a boat at the moment here in Monza. But it's still Troy out on top. Morgan in second, JSI in third, but for how much longer? As Marley, 2 tenths back at the moment on the Ferrari here, and that Mercedes looks incredible at the moment. Into the DRS train, don't rule out the Alpine or Joes either. The QRT man, the Quest Racing team man, in fact, wanting to try and make his claim for that for the French team here. But Marley on the racing line with no toe at the moment here, as the Ferrari. Is he going to look down the inside? No, he thinks better of it, as Joes, I think, outbreaks himself there. The Alpine looking to have dropped that quite big at the moment, as Lance makes his way past the harsh driver. But Marley now all over the back of JSI once again here. JSI trying to make this move on the Red Bull at the moment, but just can't seem to make it, as they're in a bit of a DRS train at the moment. The Red Bull looks to be quite strong in a straight line. As Marley still all over the back of that rear wing, he's going to be sick of seeing the behind the back Scarlet Ferrari by the end of this race. Lap 4 of 27 at the moment, so we're halfway through the 4th lap of this Italian Grand Prix. As we go through Ascari's, I think, Lance made his move back on Amberbell into the Lesmos there, and that's a brilliant battle there for the wooden spoon. But even better battle at the moment is JSI. 2 tenths is the gap here. Can the Scarlet Ferrari make it before? Is he going to do it before the DRS detection zone? I think he's not going to. No, he's going to think better of it, and he's going to get the DRS on Morgan at the moment. Morgan really struggling in race trim at the moment, as he just doesn't seem to be able to find a consistency of his team at the moment. His team at 2.4 clear of his contrary Red Bull partner. But here comes JSI. Oh, it's a late move. Late defensive move from Morgan, as JSI's put onto the grass, but gets the inside line into turn 1. The Red Bull forcing JSI out wide, but here comes Marley. Through goes the Belgian. But W14 there, he takes the most opportunistic moves as we go through the Curva Grande here, and it's wheel to wheel between the Scarlet Ferrari and the Mercedes at the moment here. The Mercedes stays out ahead now, and here comes Jost. JSI has been swallowed up here, and it's now down into 5th place. Jost has taken his opportunity. He's thought better of it, but he has taken the opportunity, and he is past the Ferrari. But for how long is he going to be able to hold off that Scarlet power, the Scarlet car? Not for much longer, as he's going to have be out, as he's going to back off into a Ascari at the moment. And he's going to think of the team game here, trying to get these points for the Alpine team, which goes off the track there. But it's still Troy out on top, dominating this race by 3 seconds gap already. And as we're on to lap 6 at the moment. Just trying to find a few battles here. Vulnerable with Morgan Cassenby here. And looking backwards here on his onboard. Morgan looking quite strong at the moment. Now getting into a bit of a rhythm here. The second Red Bull looking to stake his claim to get onto that podium, make it a Red Bull 1-2 here. But obviously a little bit of pressure from behind from Mercedes, Ferrari and the Alpine. And then 4 seconds back is Tricky, who we haven't really seen much of here. He's been a bit in no man's land at the moment, in 6th place. We're right on board a little bit with him. As Luki makes his way past the Williams here. The Williams soft tyres might be dying off here. But how long is he going to get them Red Bull tyres to go? He's going to think better of it. He's onto the grass slightly into Lesmo. And goes a bit wide because of it into night for the moment. Luki trying to make his way back up the grid here. The Scarlet Ferrari. Trying to make his stake here at that team. Trying to make it a good home Grand Prix for the Scuderia. But as more drama in the battle for last place at the moment. Lance is back ahead of Amber Bale. Then the AlphaTauri looks really racy at the moment in comparison to the Haas car at the moment. Don't forget the Haas is on the hardest compounder tyre at the moment. So we'll be looking to try and make that overcut work. As Marley now all over the back of Morgan, but thinks better of sending it into turn 1 and causing damage. Which you like to see some good standards at the moment. No real like dramatic crashes or like controversy at the moment. As Amberbell gets back past Lance at the moment. But still overcast conditions. I wonder if it is going to be overcast for the whole race. We will find out very shortly. But we just can't take our eyes off this battle for second at the moment, as Morgan is defending like a lion here for his teammate. His teammate is running away with this race at the moment. Going to just check the sector times here. He's doing a 54.6 at the moment. Morgan is doing a 55.4. So Morgan seems to be a little bit off his teammate at the moment. The gap increases now to 5 seconds. As looking behind, Vince Jones has run out of ERS, so I do expect him to possibly drop off it slightly at the moment, as I think that's another move for the back at the back of the grid there, as Lance makes his way past into Ascali at the moment. These two looking just to be yo-yoing and turn themselves along here, as Morgan still defending quite well here at the moment. The Red Bull looking to be quite strong at the moment, as Luki gets past Luca now. The Ferrari making a pretty great recovery at the moment here for lap 1 spin at the Lesmo, but he outbreaks himself. He's over the sausage curbs, no penalty there, but will he have to give up the place as he did defend it by going off and has been able to hold on to it. As Morgan has let Marley go. What's this? Morgan's got the DRS. He's toying with him. He's toying with Marley here, saying I can make the move on you if you overtake me. He's toying with him, the Red Bull driver at the moment. And it's funny to say the least, but this is some great standards at the moment. Thankfully no one has been punted off or anything like that, and it's really good standards, to be honest. You might only have 11 people, but genuinely speaking, this has been great racing at the moment. But speaking of which, how long can Morgan hold on for here? As Marley, here he comes. He thinks better of launching it down the inside. He's going to try and make Morgan go into a bit of a mistake at the moment. But the Red Bull, he's got iced veins at the moment. He's got the balls of steel, and he is holding on here. He's got nerves of steel here, as he is limiting himself to making a mistake. He's holding on very brilliantly. As we go for the chicane here. As we go through the Lesmos, and the Mercedes is looking possibly a challenger to the Red Bulls at the moment. As I think Morgan is now starting to gain a little bit on his teammate, but his teammate, have a look, 55.6. What's it going to be for Morgan? A 55.6. They are in stalwarts with each other, but Morgan is catching his teammate here by the 10th at the moment. It looked like at the time. Morgan looking very, very quick. Sorry, I had work earlier and I'm knackered. As I think that's DJSI. DJSI's going to go for it. As the Mercedes seems to be boxing. No, the Ferrari's been boxing as the Red Bull goes onto the brake line. Oh no, there's contact. There's contact there. Thankfully not race ending damage or anything for anyone there. But it's a bit of a late move there from DJSI. Now he's all over the back of the Red Bull. Can DJSI make the move? As he goes to the outside line. Beats by Robert and having to go onto the grass there. As oh, he's had a bit of a wiggle. And now, here comes the Mercedes, wheel to wheel into the Lesbo. This is some brilliant racing. DJSI holds on to that third and final podium position at the moment here. But they have cost themselves dearly at the moment. They have both lost to DRS to Morgan. Morgan will breathe a sigh of release as the finals. Luca making the move past Hoof there for 8th place. But they have dropped themselves out of the DRS at the moment, and that is not ideal for the Ferrari, not even a Mercedes driver at the moment. So Mercedes might try and make the move past DJSI if DJSI can't get the DRS here. Morgan has drained his battery, however. And speaking of which, we've not even drove on board with Troy that much this race. And that is just a statement to how dominant he has been at the moment. So just quickly check something. He has got the fastest lap, and at the rate it's going, Troy is on for the Grand Slam. Wow. That is quite something, because we're on to lap 11 at the moment. Troy looking to try and Grand Slam the event here. And I think it's something about me, every race, when it's the first race in a new league for me, someone Grand Slams it. So if you need me to commentate on your league, there you go. As Luca... Oh no! Oh, there's contact! Oh, there is contact between the Haas and the Williams, who goes into the back of Luca, and I wouldn't be surprised if that is a penalty going the way of the Williams driver. As looking further forward here, Marley all over the back of the Scarlet Ferrari. My apologies there again. As we go through a Scary, and this is a little bit of an issue here with Monza, and the fact that once you're ahead you can't really pull away with the DRS here, and it would be interesting to see Monza without the DRS, as Luca is back past Hoof. I think Hoof is let him by at the commiseration there for the contact. But here comes Marley. He is reeling that Ferrari in. He is giving him a cheeky wave. And he is through up into third, but for how long will he be able to hold on to that third place ahead of a Ferrari, as the Ferrari is going to want to fight back, but has a bit of a moment out of turn 2 as that's a yellow flag. That's the Haas of Luca for a spin at the moment at the Parabolica. But at the moment, as Luki is your first driver into the play, he chooses that white-walled harder compounder tyre as his preferred strategy option, as he drops to the back of the grid, but trying that undercut on everybody else ahead of him. Marley seems to be gaining all the time here on DJSI. DJSI not really having much of a response here, as he's closed the gap but massively there, but seems to be the one out of battery at the moment. I'll quickly check. Yeah, DJSI out of battery. Marley has a load to use down the straight, and I wouldn't be surprised if he does stay ahead of the Scarlet Ferrari, because the Ferrari is just really struggling when it comes to maintaining his DRS. He's into the pit lane now. The Ferraris have pulled the trigger here today, and they are your first drivers into the pit lane, as Jos goes in behind the Alpine driver, following on board here with the Ferrari onto the harder compounder tyre. The white walls are on, but it's interesting here as the medium runners aren't getting as far as the soft runner or Tooth. But here comes Tooth. He's into the pit lane here, and Jesse and Jules, they don't have to worry about anyone behind at the moment, as they are now 15 seconds off the back of the pack here, and a hand on to colder compounder tyres. But the interesting one, is he past the Williams to pass the Haas? He is. And that is the undercut working well for the Ferrari at the moment. But his real battle at the moment is to try and get past Cheeky. But he seems to be a bit off at the moment. As Troy's still dominating this race in spectacular fashion at the moment. Will he come into the pit lane? No, he might let his teammate into the pit lane first. They're going to have to pull the trigger at some point, the Mercedes and the Red Bull, to try and avoid the undercuts at the moment. But they're going to stay out a little bit longer at the moment, as JSI now looks to be the fastest car on track. Well, if you get rid of Troy. But it could be a case of the Red Bulls trying to get that softest compounder tyre on at the end of this race, instead of going to the hards, going for the medium soft here and trying to avoid that white wall tyre as best as they can. Malay still all over the back of Morgan. Morgan really struggling here, and Malay's doing really well at the moment, to be honest with you, to maintain his ERS, 32% at the moment. As the Mercedes driver looks to be quite strong at the moment. As we go through the Lesmos here, and it is the DRS wide open here. The letterbox is open, the Petronas to the sky, and he's going to stay behind here, but he's not really pushing with DRS. Whereas Morgan is more or less here, 13% for the Red Bull driver. The Mercedes on 36% as Barley all over the back. Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if he does make the move on the Red Bull. I wouldn't be surprised if the Red Bull comes into the pit lane. Lap 15, we are entering here. Morgan into the pit lane. Marley stays out for another lap here as he goes up. But it's going to be interesting here to see, can JSI undercut Morgan into the pit lane. Let's just keep an eye out. Chicky goes ahead of him. Morgan is out the pit box now as he's going down the pit lane here. JSI is on the start finish straight here, and he's got his foot to the floor. Here comes the Ferrari versus the Red Bull here. Morgan, is he going to be ahead into turn one? No, he's not. He's going to have to stay behind on that colder compound, on the colder tyres. And Morgan is behind the Ferrari. The undercut has worked. And now Marley is really going to be panic stationed at the moment on that medium compound tyre, but he might be going through that softest compound tyre. Do not rule him out of still getting onto this podium here. Don't rule out Cheeky either at the moment. As it further back, Amberbale and Lukey at the moment are still fighting out for the Curva Grande. As here we go on the outside, the Ferrari, the inside, as he switches to the inside, and has he got Amberbale? Yes, he has. The Ferrari is up and through into 7th place, ahead of Amberbale, yet to stop at the moment. As Morgan still trying to stay on the back of the Ferrari at the moment, pushing that Red Bull quite hard at the moment, as he does seem to be the fast one. As Troy and Marley are into the pit lane here, Cheeky as well. As we've got to watch Troy here. Troy is at the pit exit now. He is clear for this Grand Slam. He's onto the softest compound tyre. Marley is onto the softest as well. But here comes JSI. Here he comes, the Mercedes. He's been undercut. But don't forget, he's now on the Red Bull compounder tyre, as well as Cheeky, who's behind his teammate, and I wouldn't be surprised if his teammate does let him go. Lap 16 of 27 here. The rain looks to be staying away. Lukey set the fastest lap of the race at 21.9. That's a stonking lap time, in fact, on the white wall compounder tyre. Morgan still looking to size up a move on JSI at the moment. As we go for Velesmos here, Morgan still holding on to the back of that Scarlet Ferrari at the moment. Is Marley still as well staying in that DRS here. Don't forget, he will have the faster tyres, but whether he's able to get them to the end is another question here. 12 laps to go, well, 11.5 laps to go at the moment through Ascari. Is still Troy out on top, JSI in second, Morgan in third. As you see Morgan all over the back here of the Scarlet Ferrari. As he's cheeky there, goes into 7th gear to make sure he doesn't overtake the Ferrari. before Parabolica. So he gets that DRS wide open here. And this 5-bit split. It's now Oracle. It's the Oracle. As don't tell me they're 3 wide. They're 3 wide. And Marley, is he going to get both of them? He's got them both. Marley is through and up into second from 4th at the moment. And that is a sensational move, and proving that softer compounder tyre is working well at the moment. It's still now Troy out on top. Marley in second, Morgan in third. And that is the way to do it on that softer compounder tyre. So we're looking in behind him. Morgan trying to stick it with the Mercedes, but the Mercedes looks to be insanely fast at the moment. But can Morgan's DRS advantage help him stick with that Mercedes car? He's gaining. That Red Bull in the DRS is insanely fast at the moment here. And JSI looks to be down and out at the moment, but do not rule him out. We know what he is like, and we know he is strong enough to make his way back up into this race. As Troy sets your fastest lap of the race here at 20.4, that is a stonking lap time. As Marley now, he's going to be under attack from the Red Bull behind. He might be on the soft compound tire, but the soft compound tires aren't going to help you when it comes to being hounded by a Red Bull here. And Marley is now back into third place. It's only a Red Bull 1 and 2. As we've got 10 laps remaining here in Monza. And it's still Troy out on top, Morgan in second, Marley in third. JSI still trying to make his way back onto that podium for the Tifosi at the moment. And Marley looks to be insanely fast currently on the soft compound into the Lesmos especially. And here he comes now. DRS is wide open. Patronus to the sky. And the lab box is wide open here, but he's not going to be able to make the move past Morgan Cassidy just yet. He's not going to launch it down the inside of Ascari at the moment. And there's still, this is really the only battle we have at the moment, unfortunately. Well, not unfortunately, it's still an incredible battle at the moment. But it would have been cool to see a lot more fighting at the moment. But Marley, he's got the DRS. He's going to be already alongside before the DRS is wide open. Marley is back up and through into second place. But Morgan is trying to stick with him. And Morgan just stick with him at the moment. Like he has a bit of a correction at the moment. And Morgan trying to make his way up and through. But the Red Bull does look to be quite strong at the moment in a straight line, especially throughout the Les Motors. Luca picks up your first 3-second time penalty for track limit, and he is the man currently down in P11 and last at the moment, the only man not scoring any points in this Grand Prix. No DNF2, ignore Ramaron. Yeah, I think he was just random or something, who knows. But JSI is really struggling here. We're going to look at, he's really trying to keep up with these two at the moment, but he just seems to be a little bit of a step behind at the moment compared to the Red Bull and the Mercedes at the moment. The Mercedes looking quite strong here. The track looks to be a bit shiny here. 8 more laps to go. Troy's going to cross the line there as he goes through the Parabolica. I'm on board a little bit with him. And he's doing 22.3. Let's see what Marley's doing at the moment without the DRS. Marley is doing a 22.0, so he has gone faster than Troy on that lap. But Morgan is hounding him in. Oh my word, that Red Bull is a demon in a straight line. Marley thinks about Rob's diving it down the inside here, but this is bringing JSI back into play at the moment. And this is in full about for second, third, and fourth at the moment. And still 6 points up for grabs between these three. Whether it's 18, 15 or 12 in this race. Sorry, I'm still having at work. I'm really stressed. But Morgan, it's going to be a bit more comfortable at the moment, knowing his DRS is a lot stronger than Marley. If you go up the run into a story here, and you can just see Marley struggling there, as Morgan does have more ERS. JSI is out of ERS, so he is seeming to be the one a little bit off the pace at the moment between them at this current stage, but he is benefiting from these guys fighting it out. And he's going to be licking his lips, hoping that there might be a collision between the two. We don't want to see it, as obviously the standards of league racing has dropped off quite massively, unfortunately, especially in PSGL-WR. But who needs PSGL-WR when you've got JSI racing at the moment? And that is Marley back up and through into second place at the moment. There seems to be a bit more DRS trailing at the moment, as Morgan still the demon in the straight line here. 7 more laps to go here today. As that seems to just fly by. And it's because of the great racing, especially between these three at the moment. There we go. As Hoofer's gone to the mediums, by the way, if you do want to know. He's gone for the opposite strategy. Oh, Luca! Luca's gone for a spin. Troy picks up a 3-second timeout out into Viscari. And that will really hurt his chances of winning this race. No, it's the sarcasm. And unfortunately, this has now dropped the JSI out of the DRS. He is going to be in full fare. He looks to be just trying to get the car to the end of his points, secure the 12 points for the Scuderia at their home Grand Prix, and it won't be any home heroics at the moment. But here comes Morgan Cassenby again, the Frenchman. He's flying past into turn 1 again. And that Red Bull again, just an absolute demon in a straight line here. And reminiscent of what possibly they will be like in real F1 when we go to the Italian Grand Prix. And a case where it could be the chance for Verstappen to get his 10th race win in a row if he does win at Zandvoort. And I genuinely think if he does win at Zandvoort, it will break the record, because the Red Bull just looks mighty at the moment here in Monza. Just sorry to any Seb fans, I've just upset saying that. Oh, the rain's here! Oh, this is dramatic! And I can't believe I'm saying this, the rain has arrived! With 5 laps to go. Will it get wet enough to see the intermediates come into play? Troy stays out another lap at the moment. As Lukey now picks up a 3-second time penalty, he's that really will affect him. Maybe drop him down his weight, who knows. But the rain is here, and the drama has ensued now. Will it get wet enough to see anyone take the green wool compound attire? Maybe we could see Luca go onto that, or maybe Lance. No, not Lance, but probably Luca, the only man not in the points. He's the only one who really should take the risk to go to the intermediate compound. He's the only one who can get a lot. Luki is in. Luki has pulled the trigger. And what's it going to be for the Scarlet Ferrari? Is it going to be Inter? The intermediates are in play. The green wool tyres are on the Scarlet Ferrari of Luki. The white wools are off, and we need to progress Luki's Luki at the moment here. See what he's able to do on that green wool tyre. Will it rain heavy enough? As no one else think it will at the moment. Luki's the only man on that intermediate compound tyre. We're going to see what Troy does though on that softer compound tyre. It's more of a hard run as you've got to watch out for at the moment, as it does look to be a bit slippery at the moment. Troy stays out another lap here. Morgan, what's he going to do, the Red Bull driver? But this could be Marley's one and only chance now. At any point this DRS could get deactivated here. Oh, Marley gets into Morgan's head slightly there, and wiggles out of the pit lane into the pit lane here. But here comes Marley once again here. He thinks better of it. He's got to make this move stick very soon at the moment, however, because the DRS will be deactivated if the rain does get heavy enough and we do go to the green wall tyre. Chicky is in. The man in 6th is in. And he had a free pit stop, but is it going to be enough here? I'm watching Luki at the moment here. And he's gaining, and we do look to be at the crossover point at the moment. Cheeky is onto that green wall intermediate tyre at the moment. But is it going to be a matter of touch and go here for a lot of the drivers here as Luki gets past on that green wall tyre? Is it time for the Inters? I do genuinely think it's crossover at this point in time, and we just don't know who is in. Amber Bale is in. It's going to be the intermediates for everyone now. No, Lance stays out. Lance is staying out here on that soft compound. What is Troy going to do? He is an experienced head in these conditions. He knows what he's meant to do here. Is he going to stay out another lap? But Red Bull stays out again. Morgan Cassenby might just follow his compatriot in the other RB19 at the moment. So I'm going to ride on board here with Marlon, as they both stay out here. Has he got the DRS? He still has the DRS. 3 laps to go in this Italian Grand Prix. It's now do or die for Marlon to make this move stick. And he thinks better of it. I think he's just going to hang back now and make the move on the last lap here. 3 more laps to go here. And could it be a Red Bull 1 and 2? Well, we're sure it's going to be a Red Bull 1. But this rain has thrown this race up in the air here, as the man with the golden helmet still thinks it's time for the slicks. Whereas a lot of the guys up towards the back edge, Chicky especially, we're going to look at his progress compared to his teammate, who's on the harder compound tyre, and he's losing a lot of time at the moment. But it's really going to be a point now where these dry runners are going to have to stay out. It's too risky to drop into the pit lane now, as they'll just lose too much time in comparison to the guys already on that green-walled intermediate tyre. Big one as well, Lance stayed in 8th here, and it's a brilliant strategy so far from the AlphaTauri team to stay out here, and this could be their chance to jump into 6th place here as Luki picks up a 10-second time penalty for corner cutting. I think that was a late break there, and that could be removed, who knows, as JSI is struggling as well. Onto the penultimate lap here. Marley, here he comes. Marley is ahead of the Red Bull. It's not ideal for the Red Bull team here. Marley is up and through into 2nd place. JSI is into the pit lane for the intermediates now. And at this point, it's too late for the Red Bull and the Mercedes. They've got to stay out. Jones as well for the Alpine team has got to stay out here. And it's going to be interesting. Can JSI make his way back up into that top 4? Maybe make it onto the podium here, as I think that's the Williams who's gone off there. And I don't think it's time for the intermediates here, but it's too little too late now for these front running guys at the moment. Troy looks to be really struggling, as I just don't think it's getting wet enough for the intermediates to come to play. We're in a bit of a crossover at the moment here on this penultimate lap of the race here. Morgan really struggling in these conditions. The soft compound tyre looking very, very strong indeed. Obviously the grippiest tyre of the lot here. But Morgan is going to be able to make that move into turn 1. And I think it is locked and scored to be a Red Bull 1-2, unless Marley pulls off an absolutely outstanding first sector. But you just do not know here in JSI. Final lap time. Troy has entered the final lap. Here comes Marley and Morgan Cassenby. And will Morgan make this move stick? Here he comes. He's the charging bull. And here he comes, the charging bull. DRS wide open. It's hammer time. It's Labour Gauntlet. No. He stays behind. Oh, Mr. Drift. And it's getting wet. Here today, it's a bit too wet there, as both of them lose the rear end there. And Troy is really struggling. It's a bit of a trundle now for them all, as I think it is still going to be secured here, as Marley still ahead of the Red Bull here. He's looking to try and make this a podium for the Mercedes team. It couldn't be a first win, as the Haas has gone and thinned out. Yeah, that was Amber Bale going for a spin, but still looking behind here. One more DRS straight. This is Morgan's only chance now to get ahead, but he's really struggling on the traction here. but the DRS is now wide open. The Bybit splits. The letterbox is open. Here he comes, he's the charging ball. Is he going to launch it into Ascari? No, he thinks better of it. He's going to take P3 and get onto that podium here for Red Bull. But the man who has been unstoppable in this race, it's the RB19 Masterclass again. It's Troy for Red Bull. It's a Grand Slam in Monza. Troy wins the Italian Grand Prix. Behind them, Marley for Mercedes takes second place, ruins the Red Bull 1-2 as Morgan Cassenby takes home third. Luca is in the wall at Parabolica. Jose will take an outstanding fourth position for the team, with sixth in the constructors. This is a major haul of points here for the Alpine team, as the Haas only score one as Jose takes home fourth. The JSI for the Scarlet Ferrari can round out your top five. Chicky will take sixth. Lance, an indomitable performance at the moment for the AlphaTauri driver. Hoof and Lambert, your only two drivers lapped at the moment, they will take 9th and 10th respectively. Don't forget, Luki has got that penalty here, so Lance is going to take it a little easier here, as Chicky takes home 6th for the Alpine team. And the rain never came heavy enough for the intermediate runners to make their way up there. It's going to be Lance in 7th, it's going to be Luki in 8th here in Italy, but the man on top, it's Troy, absolutely dominating this race. As Luki goes for a spin. Giving us a cheeky one at the moment there. As Luki takes home 8th for the Ferrari team. Into the wall he goes slightly. Okay. That is a great performance, especially from the Mercedes there. Driver of the day award by the in-game fans is Lance for the AlphaTauri team, 7th on track there. That is phenomenal from him. But it is Red Bull out on top. It's a 1-3. It's a double podium for the Ferrari drivers, with the Belgium of Marley in second, splitting the two Red Bulls and stopping a perfect race weekend here as the champagne is popped here in Monza. Vitosi won't be happy to see Red Bull topple the Scarlet Ferrari. The champagne is shared about there, but it is Troy out on top, Marley in second, Morgan in third, Jose taking home fourth, Jesse in fifth, Chicky in sixth, Lance in seventh, Luki in eighth, Hoof in ninth, and Amber Bale taking the final point. Luca and Ramaron, who Ramaron is still, if he was meant to drive or not, who knows? But we are going to get, hopefully, your top 3 in for interviews. I will get all of them in, hopefully, if they do want it. So you might as well ask. I got a bit of chewing gum. There we go. I'll invite the 3 into the party now. Oh, I can't seem to find everyone on here straight away. Oh well, we will just go a little bit further down to find As we got Mali as well. As I can't add someone. Who knows which one it is? It's Morgan, who can't seem to add in. Who knows? But we have got. We're just waiting on the. Waiting on them. See if they do join the interview chat. And since it's it, we've got our race winner in today.
Hola.
Hola. But we will start off with your race winner and the man who seemed to be on another level to the rest of the grid at the moment. And it is your championship leader, Troy. Are you there?
I'm here. Hello.
Yeah. So obviously, taking pole by a massive, quite a large, decent margin there. Obviously,
Yeah.
1.5 tenths to your teammate. Do you think possibly a bit more lap time was in there, or was it just about hooking up that
Yeah.
lap to get pole?
Obviously, I spun on the last corner, so I
Yeah.
could have gone like a tenth faster, but it was a great lap.
Yeah, and obviously it was enough to get you that pole position, and from there on, you just look to be in a different league, in a different world. In fact, you might as well head it off to round 9, the way you were so dominant today.
Thank you.
And obviously, towards the end of the race, we did see the rain come into play. Do you think possibly there was a chance of going to the Inters and the win being in jeopardy?
Yeah, I thought about it, but the softs were too good for the Inters. Like, if I would have pitted for the Inters, I think I wouldn't have closed the gap to the front, so we made a good call.
Yeah, and it was a good call indeed, as you did round off the Grand Slam. But going into next week, I think I did see something about next week's being arranged. Yeah, it's changing to Imola. It would have been Las Vegas,
Yeah.
but obviously still issues with the track. But going into Imola, obviously, personally, I know how good you can be around there in the Red Bull. But how do you fancy your chances going into next week?
I hope for a podium to finish my championship good, but a win is in there. We'll see.
Yeah, and hopefully you could round off this championship and start. I think there is the chance that you could possibly be champion next week. Who knows? But congratulations on the win on the Grand Slam,
Thank you.
and we will see you next week.
See you next week.
See you
Bye.
next week. See ya. As next up is the man who split the two Red Bulls in that W14, and he's probably going to kill me because I might have been saying his name wrong the whole time. Marley, are you there?
Yeah, of course I will.
Yeah, so obviously, in qualifying, it was third fastest, I believe, in the end for you. Best of the rest in comparison to the Red Bulls. Do you think possibly a different row was possible this week?
Yeah, of course. I lost like three tenths in the first quarter of the lap or something. I cut the curb too much, so I lost like 2 tenths in there. So it was definitely on the table, as I did a practice lap before and I did a 0.7. So I would have been on the phone now if I did that again.
Yeah, and obviously, but still third on the grid. Not the worst place to be here at Monza, where the slipstream is obviously king at times. But obviously, you seem to be on pace there with DJC and Morgan as well, and came out on top on especially with your strategy being the only one of the three of you to go onto that medium soft strategy. Do you think that was possibly your the deciding factor in this race?
Yeah, I think so. I had way more grip than them in the first stint. Like on the softs, I was flying past them, but I just couldn't drop them out of the DRS because it's way too powerful in this game. And yeah, I think it made a difference because Jess also lost DRS because of me. I think because Morgan was just on my tail and then we could drive away.
Yeah, and obviously, still P2, great result in the end, and making that move stick towards the end of the race. But next week, obviously, we stay in Italy. We go over to San Marino for Imola. How do you fancy your chances going into Imola?
Yeah, I did some TT, although the work release is not too fast around there, I think. But on TT, I was like P10 of the world on PlayStation, so I think the pace is there, to be honest. But we just need to see if the work is good around there or not.
Yeah, and obviously we never know. It's a bit of a weekend of unknowns. Well, every week is, especially with the realistic cars. But still, P2 splitting the Red Bulls and a good haul of points in the charge for P3 in the constructor standings. So congratulations on that, and we will see you next week.
Thank you. See you next week.
See you next week indeed. And third and finally, we do have the other Red Bull driver, the man who was quite strong throughout the race, but possibly the strategy letting him down to try and secure that Red Bull 1-2, but he still rounds out onto the podium. Morgan, are you there?
Yes. Sorry, it's my pizza. But yeah, I'm here. Yes.
Obviously, so
Do you have a question? Oh, yeah.
yeah. I was asking. Obviously, P2 in qualifying, locking out the front row with your teammate. Do you think possibly take pole was possible?
No. 15 minutes of practicing, I think, for 1.5 hour, and yeah. How can I say? I was not too good on this track, but the Red Bull carrying me. So yeah, Mike was fast, and I think he deserved P2.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
obviously,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
yeah, but obviously, going into the race, obviously the DRS was quite strong. There's someone saying we hear nothing.
Sorry.
The share is just the audio share is on. I've made sure of it. Oh well.
Do you hear my voice on the stream?
Yeah, Morgan is loud and clear, but the malle appies, you turn the
you-
sound off.
Oh
No.
Yeah.
no, I ain't doing. I'm not going back.
Is the voice
Any-
on the stream or not? I don't know.
yours is.
Oh, but Mike, no.
Yeah, you're all good.
Oh, okay.
But obviously in the race, third fastest in the race. Oh, it's because he paused the video. That's why. So we're all clear. But obviously in the race, definitely seemed quite quick out there. But took you a few laps to get used to the car. It did seem. But do you think that P2 is definitely possible, looking in hindsight with the strategy, or?
It was maybe the strategy, but it was 1/10 behind Mike, so we were swapping the car. So Mike was second, and then I was second, and third. Yes, was the last lap. So it was maybe the strategy, but it was not. Yeah. Yes, that.
Yeah, but obviously going into next week in Imola, do you fancy your chances of possibly improving on this P3 and possibly going for that race win?
I don't know if Renz Renz is there. I think P3 is possible, but I think it will be with Troy and Renz. The five.
Yeah, but still P3 here, and still great haul of points for the Red Bull team on the charge for the Constructors' Championship.
Yes.
But we will see you hopefully next week. Still great job on that P3, and we will see you next week. Enjoy your evening.
Thank you.
And that is going to wrap it up for today in JSI Season 8, as obviously the Red Bulls reign supreme at the home of Ferrari. Next week we do stay in Italy. We are heading over to the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix in Imola. So make sure to join us next week, next Friday. Join myself and my bottle of Pepsi Max. You know, I haven't got a co-commentator at the moment. So, but still, we will see you there. And from myself, Zook, yeah, goodbye.